My name is Wilson Hughes, Executive Vice President and General Manager for GCI. I want to talk about the importance of TERRA and how we are going to complete this historic project in a safe and timely manner. United Utilities, a subsidiary of GCI, has been charged with completing all aspects of the TERRA project. TERRA, simply put, will provide Southwest Alaska a next-generation communications network made up of high-speed fiber optic and microwave connections. The success of TERRA is dependent on making sure it is built to stringent specifications in what can be considered some of the toughest working conditions you may ever encounter. Working safe and taking care of the environment are not just slogans, but critical elements to completing the TERRA project. Work takes place over vast distances in remote locations with varied geographical terrain and weather that can change with little notice. Being prepared is not only a necessity, but a requirement. As part of your day-to-day routine, every person involved with this operation must be mindful of his or her working environment. How we complete TERRA will reflect directly on the success of this project. Success rests with every person. It's making sure you are doing your part to be prepared and informed before beginning the day. It is also making sure your coworkers are prepared and informed. If you have questions, ask, and we will get you answers. Our commitment to you is making sure you have the tools and information to complete this project safely. TERRA is important to you, UUI, and GCI. With your help, we're going to make this project a success for all Alaskans.
The TERRA project is an important step in bringing high-speed broadband services to rural Alaska. When completed, there will be more than 290 miles of new fiber optic cable, 6 cable landing stations, 13 new microwave towers, and a land-based connection to Anchorage. This network will extend broadband services to 65 communities and more than 9,000 households in the Bristol Bay and Yukon-Kuskokwim Delta regions. These communities currently use high-cost, high-latency satellite connections for their phone and internet. The nearly 150 hospitals, clinics, and schools in the area are currently limited by their lack of access to dependable high-speed connectivity. TERRA will give them a high-speed backbone capable of supporting multiple voice, data, and internet providers. While satellite has served Alaska well, it simply can't provide the bandwidth required for today's services. To make it possible for rural Alaska to keep pace with the rest of the world, we have to put those services on the ground. The TERRA project will span several environments. Whether you are on the water, in the air, or on the ground, it's up to you to be prepared and conscious of your surroundings. Your safety and the safety of this project depend on this. If you see something that looks unsafe or witness an unsafe event, report it immediately. Do not wait for something that seems unsafe to become unsafe. The time it takes to make sure everything is as it should be is nothing compared to the time it will take to clean up the aftermath of an accident. If you question whether a condition or situation is unsafe, consult your supervisor for guidance. Do not keep uncertainty to yourself. We hope there are no injuries, but if you have one, even if you think it is minor, get the necessary first aid attention and then immediately report the injury to your supervisor. 13 towers will be built across Southwest Alaska. Be aware of what is happening around you and above you at all times. Wear your hard hat and harness. Don't shortcut the tower climbing training you have received. Those procedures were designed to assure your safety. If you see a spill, regardless of the volume, report it immediately to your supervisor. you will be operating in environmentally sensitive areas that need to be left in the same condition they were when you arrived. Fuel drums should only be opened when in a protected and contained area. In addition to your personal protective equipment, make sure you are dressed for the elements. Pack warm clothes, layer, and be prepared for the worst. Because of the vast distances and strategic locations needed to complete this project, there is a high probability you are going to be riding in many different types of transportation. Here are a few things to consider. Your pilot will give you a full safety briefing, but it's the small things that you do that will make the biggest impact on your personal safety. In all aircraft, wear seat belts and life preservers. Know how to exit in an emergency. Listen to your pilot and use common sense. Around helicopters, be mindful of rotors and debris kicked up by the wash. For airplanes, never walk in front of an operating aircraft. PFDs float better than you can swim, and they only work if you're wearing them. Know how to operate them. Be aware of wet surfaces that may be slippery. Before TERRA could be constructed, more than 125 separate regulatory approvals and land acquisitions had to be obtained. This project is massive in scale. The area of land being used is similar in size to North Dakota. Because the area contains a mix of private, native, state of Alaska, and federal lands, processes and environmental impact will be scrutinized. Treat the private and public lands as you would your own. Follow simple and easy steps every day to protect the environment. Be aware of wildlife, especially endangered species and their habitat. Be mindful of archaeological and historic sites in and around your work zone. Be observant and report any findings to your supervisor. Be conscious of your actions and footprint. Have a minimal impact on the environment. Pack out what you pack in. If you have any questions or concerns, talk with your supervisor. Report something if you think it is not safe or not normal. Report issues before they become an accident or incident.
Thank you for taking the time to review this video. It is important that you understand the impact this project will have on rural Alaskans. You also need to understand that safety is our #1 priority. As you begin the historic task of building this high-speed network, working safe and being conscious of your environment will help us complete this project and bring the next generation of telecommunications to more Alaskans. We are committed to making sure all Alaskans are connected. Thank you for being part of this vision.